The summer of 1518 was hot. In the city of Strasbourg, people felt a deep unease. The city was part of the Holy Roman Empire. It was a place of high walls and narrow, winding streets. Stone houses stood close together. Their shadows made the lanes dark even during the day. This was a time of great change and great fear. The world felt unstable. People worried about their souls. They worried about their next meal. A strange tension filled the air, thicker than the summer heat. Something was about to happen, something no one could have predicted. It all began in July 1518. The story starts with one woman. Her name was Frau Trophea. She lived in Strasbourg, a normal citizen. One day she stepped out of her house onto the street. Then she started to dance. There was no music, there was no festival, she just danced. Her movements were not joyful, they were frantic, uncontrolled. Her arms flailed, her body twisted and turned. People stopped and stared. They watched this strange, solitary performance. They did not understand what they were seeing. Was she celebrating something? Was she mad? Frau Trophea did not stop. Word of the dancing woman spread through Strasbourg. She became a spectacle, a curiosity. But as they watched, a strange thing started to happen. The madness, it seemed, was contagious. To understand the dancing plague, we must understand the city. Strasbourg in 1518 was a place of deep suffering. The people were facing multiple crises at once. A series of terrible famines had left many starving. The price of bread, the staple food for most families, was incredibly high. On top of the hunger, there was disease. Sicknesses like smallpox, leprosy, and syphilis were common and feared. These diseases were mysterious and deadly. The spiritual world was also in turmoil. This was the era of the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther had challenged the authority of the Catholic Church just 1 year earlier, in 1517. The people were already on the edge of a breakdown. The dancing plague was the event that pushed them over. It was an expression of the collective pain and panic that had been building for years. The city's leaders were baffled. The physicians of Strasbourg were consulted. They examined the dancers. After careful deliberation, they dismissed any supernatural causes. This was not a curse from a saint, they declared. This was a natural disease. It was caused by hot blood in the brain. The cure, they decided, was simple. The dancers needed to dance the fever out of their systems. Following the physician's advice, the city authorities took action. They organized more dancing. They cleared open spaces for the afflicted. They even constructed a large wooden stage in the middle of the city. The plan backfired horribly. The music and the public stage did not cure the dancers. Instead, it made things worse. What had started with one woman now involved hundreds. They danced until their feet were raw and their clothes were soaked with sweat. They were in a trance-like state, their faces twisted in agony. Some suffered heart attacks, others died from strokes or pure exhaustion. Today, historians and scientists are still fascinated by the dancing plague of 1518. We have the benefit of modern science to help us analyze the event. The theory of poisoning by ergot fungus is one of the most debated explanations. Ergotism can indeed cause spasms and hallucinations. However, modern experts point out some problems with this theory. The leading modern theory centers on psychology. Most historians now believe the dancing plague was a case of mass psychogenic illness, also known as mass hysteria. This psychological explanation is supported by other historical cases. The Strasbourg event was not unique. There were other, smaller outbreaks of dancing mania in Europe during the medieval period. The dancing plague of 1518 ended as mysteriously as it began. By September, the dancing had stopped. The city of Strasbourg slowly returned to normal. The story is more than just a bizarre historical footnote. It is a profound case study in human psychology and social dynamics. Why does this story still fascinate us so much 500 years later? It is because it feels both alien and familiar. The dancing plague holds up a mirror to our own vulnerabilities. It shows how easily the human mind can be overwhelmed when social supports break down and hope is lost. Ultimately, the dancing plague of Strasbourg remains an unsolved mystery. It is a dark and compelling chapter in human history. The dancers are long gone, but their ghostly, tragic performance continues to echo through the centuries, a puzzle without a final answer.